Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Lang.
Here.
Commissioner Galassi.
Here.
Commissioner McCauley.
Here.
Chair Morocco.
Here. Okay, so we have a quorum. Great. Do you want to lead the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, sure.
Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you can be seated. Okay, next on the agenda is approving the order of the agenda, and I think our liaison has a comment about one of the items on the agenda.
Yeah, there's a clerical error, and we need to pull F5 as that is a public hearing and is addressed later on in the agenda. So if we could remove that. Other than that, it should be able to proceed as enumerated in the agenda.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the order of the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, any public comment on that? Okay.
There are no public comments.
Oh, what's on there?
Could you ask them to close that door so that we don't get the crosstalk in here? Okay, all those, I'm gonna do roll calls now on this one because we have only four people here.
Sure. Commissioner Lang,
Yeah. Yes.
Commissioner Galassi,
Yes.
Commissioner McCauley,
Yes.
Chair Morocco.
Yes, okay, so that's a 4-0 vote unanimously. Blue folder items, do we have any blue folder items?
We do. That was submitted and distributed. That is regarding the reports or updates. Actually, item L1, Commission Subcommittee Review and Project Updates.
Thank you. Did everybody get a chance to get a copy? Okay. Can I get a motion to receive and file the blue folder items? I'll make the motion.
And I'll second that.
Okay, any public discussion?
There are no public comments.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so we're moving on to the consent calendar. These items for our students here are notice for hearing. They don't anticipate they will be controversial. They can be taken up under the consent calendar, or any of the members of the commission can pull those items and have it treated as an excluded consent calendar item. So Commissioner Lang, is there anything you would like to pull?
No.
Okay, Commissioner Galassi?
No.
Commissioner McCauley?
No.
And of course, I'm going to pull the minutes for that one. So,
And can you pull F5, please?
and if you've already pulled it out of the whole
Okay.
thing.
Right.
So
Thank you.
can I get a motion to approve items F1, well, I guess I should ask for public comment on that first.
There are no public comments.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve items F1, F3, and F4?
I'll move to approve F1, F3, and F4.
Okay, and one of them is a receive and file of the Parks and Recs update. Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, now we get to talk about minutes. Okay, so we actually had an interesting conundrum on the minutes. We mentioned the last meeting that the way that they have it structured with the 0, the 502, or because two people are absent, and treating them as abstaining is not necessarily going for the majority. So as I see it today, with only 4 people here, if we're going to do that methodology, that would mean that we would need all 4 of us in unanimity in order to pass anything, versus a 3 versus 1 kind of situation. So I want to hear the take of what your experiences are, and then I want to share into the minutes what I found.
That's my understanding. So whatever you've researched, I'd like to hear back. Unfortunately, the recording mechanism, I have not been able to speak with the city clerk regarding the discrepancy. We had talked about the vote recording. I hope to do so soon. So whether we approve the meeting minutes tonight, I can report back next meeting regarding how those votes are recorded in the minutes.
Okay, because we do have a public hearing matter, and that's kind of why it's more important today. If we all agree, then the matter moves forward as approved. If only 3 of us vote in favor, we have a situation which I don't know whether we can defer, can take the vote count and then defer the ruling for the city. I did put that question into the city attorney, what's the proper methodology? Rosenberg seems to imply it's the people that are here that are voting that constitute the majority of it. So it would be a 3-1 vote would be acceptable.
Sufficient.
But if it goes the way that these last minutes went, it would have to be, it would be a 3, it'd have to have 4 votes completely in order to get over the majority because it's 4-0-3 at that point.
What I would recommend is that we move forward with the hearing, record the vote tallies, and then wait for an official judgment on how best to move forward, whether it's approved or not. But we can move forward with the votes tonight since we have quorum.
Okay, I do want to read into the record. I went back and looked at samples, and the city's all over the place with regards to that. The city council, which rarely has people absent, on December 19th, 2023, motion was carried 4-0-1. December, and the same thing on that one. City council, September 25th, 2023, I believe it was, it was 2 people absent, and the motion carried based on that. June 3rd, 2024 for the Library Commission. So this is something that you were involved with as well. The vote count was, I believe, 4-0 on this one. Sorry, I didn't write all over these, so. But the Library Commission on June 3rd, 2024 has 1 sample of it. The Planning Commission on December 19th, 2024 has a 4-1-1 vote. The Harbor Commission on June 9th, 2025 had a 6-0 vote. There's somebody absent from that. The City Council on February 4th, 2025 had a 4-0 vote with noting that the person was absent. And also on April 15th, 2025, it went the other way with a 3-0-2 vote, which for the council is enough. So there seems to be some inconsistency in the level. I'm going to shortcut it by voting no on these minutes, but I will leave it to my colleagues to decide how they want to vote on it. It's the same issue with how the votes are counted. So can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So we're talking about in the minutes where it says 5-0-2, 5 who were present, 5-0 was the vote, 2 were absent, which is, it states that they were absent, it doesn't say abstain.
That's correct. The city treats it as being an abstention.
So my understanding for, correct me, Maura, I think on the Parks Committee, or the Rex Park Commission, prior to this, it was assumed that the majority of the quorum was the outcome.
Yeah.
And, however, I agree with you. I don't know if I necessarily saw that in any of the bylaws. And I know we were researching the bylaws kind of ongoing since this commission's been formed. I would kind of defer with what Dana's talking about, like, let's vote tonight. And then kind of, I think once you have a vote, it's hard to undo the vote. But I think the for sure going forward in the bylaws, that's an issue that should be addressed specifically, just so that there is clarity. Because like I said, I've always assumed that, but you're right, like there's no, I don't know, where we could cite that.
We can bring it back when we have a little more clarity, but as regarding the minutes, the content, are there any other recommendations for changes or any?
Can I ask a question too?
Yeah.
I just want to understand what the issue is. So, because here it does say that it does say they were absent. And so before, I'm not sure, did it not say, specifically say they were absent? Like what is, can you just summarize what your concern is?
Sure. If you look at page 11, which is item F2, for example. So we have a motion that carried 502. There was only 5 votes cast at that meeting because Commissioner McCauley and Rowe were absent. But it makes it sound like you need 4 votes to actually pass any matter if you count it this way. If you don't count it this way,
It would have just needed the 3.
it was just a straight majority of who's here. So it would take 3 votes to pass it. So when we have the public hearing, if, say, for example, I vote no, is it going to pass with the 3 votes, which seems to be, this is the,
But I would say, have past minutes done this?
they've been inconsistent for all the different commissions and the
Right,
council.
So the problem is more, it's the minutes, it's not the vote. So right, the vote was 5-0. So whatever issues occurred in that meeting, those, you can't undo those votes.
Right, but it's 5-0 is clearly, even 4-0 is clearly over the majority of the people in the commission.
So say hypothetically this evening, we have a 3-1 vote. But because we have a quorum, the quorum means we can continue the meeting.
Correct.
And therefore the vote will stand.
Well, the question is whether the vote passes, the matter passes with the required majority, or whether 3 votes means that it doesn't pass.
But the minutes aren't determining the required majority, it's just information.
Well, I'm not going to, if we have a 3-1 vote, I'm not going to announce whether it passes or not. I'm going to leave it to our liaison to go find out from somebody in the city, and then perhaps in the next set of minutes, it will come in either it passed or did not pass because it did not have any relevance to it. Normally, when we abstain, we are supposed to say on the record why we're abstaining. And you can't take a 5-0-2 vote and say, well, they really abstained and this is why. They may have voted, they may have wanted to vote for it or against it at one point.
So the having 5-0-2, the 2 is being interpreted as that means there was 2 abstentions. Is that correct?
There's 2 abstentions, yes.
Okay, so.
But it says they were absent.
So wouldn't it be correct that we just correct the typo? That the typo should read, motion carried 5-0, 2 commissioners were absent?
We did that the last month for the last 2 meetings, and if you notice, they haven't been posted to the city website. I assume that's part of it, is that we're going back and forth as to whether the vote count should be reflected as 5-0 or 5-0-2. When I read the 2, it sounds like these people are being counted as part of the vote, and again, that makes the difference in the outcome of the vote.
So you're looking for basically would be like a 5-0-0-2?
Well, also, there's no explaining that 5 means, it's assumed the 5 is the 5 votes, the 0 is the 0 against. But
Well, because it says motion
4
carried.
against and then absent, or does it mean 4 against and abstain? There's no, by looking at the minutes, there's no way to determine either way.
Correct. And there was one.
So I just, my opinion is I think it would just be, this is more of a typo than if we have a 3-1 vote tonight to put that for whoever's here, that their issue is now kind of in limbo. I don't think that's proper.
Can we just ask for
It sounds like it's a
consistency
different situation.
across
Yeah, it's like this
Right,
is a
and-
minutes
It's a
correction.
different
between
situation.
like what the city council meetings say?
Right, and I just don't want to delay the process or the deliberation, so I'm just looking for some feedback from city clerk, and I think that it's a matter of how it's recorded in the minutes, We do acknowledge the absences and attendance at the beginning of the meeting. And so far, in my experience on Library Commission and Public Amenities Commission, we have not had someone abstain, but it's certainly possible. So I apologize for that confusion. And until I receive more formal direction from City Clerk as far as how it's supposed to be accurately reported, and it can be all over the place, and I apologize for that. I'm sure I'm not take a lot of responsibility, but I can't be responsible for some other commissions and how they record things. So I think that we will get clarification, and then hopefully there'll be a standardization, and I respect and got your feedback on it. I just can't appropriately, and I don't feel comfortable giving you more feedback other than we need to consult with our city clerk to
Okay, I think actually the city attorney, since it is a legal consequence that comes, especially when we have a public hearing.
We can definitely
needs to be clarified, because that may be part of an appeal if it turns out it's a 3-1 vote.
Right.
Yes.
So to be clear, there are two things that we need to find out, right? We need to clarify the 502, what that 2 means, right? That third number, what that means, but also in terms of the situation that we have here tonight, is that we have a quorum, but if the vote goes 3-1,
Right.
does that vote pass or not? So those are 2 items of clarification.
Right. But I
If we had a 5th person here, it wouldn't be an issue.
It wouldn't be an issue. So in terms of the minutes, then we can just say that we can table
yes.
passing the minutes for tonight
Right.
until we get clarification on that. And then as a secondary item, we would need to find out, assuming, we don't know anything of how this vote will go, but that's a secondary item.
And you may want to pass out to the rest of the commission a copy of Rosenberg's Rules of Order. My analysis of that manual is that it goes by the number of votes cast here tonight. So 3-1 would pass. But I'm deferring to you and the city to come up with the number, and I do think the city attorney needs to be involved in it.
So
Thank you.
if I'm understanding it correctly, and then we can wrap it up and move along, but what I'm understanding is that we don't know, sitting here, if a 3-1 vote carries. We don't know
No,
that.
I disagree. I think it does. I think the purpose of the quorum indicates that's a legal term,
That's what I thought.
right? That is, we have a quorum, we have a legal right to vote on the issues that are here tonight with the 4 of us.
Yes.
And the majority of that outcome is standing. I don't think that would be undone. I think the rules would back that up. But, if we want more clarification on that, that's fine to ask for city attorney's opinion on that, but it shouldn't matter on what takes place in any of the commissions or the city council for that matter. Once you have a quorum, then
And move forward and do
you're
business.
legal to vote.
So that would mean that on the council, if they had 3 council members that evening, they're voting on something, and the vote is 2-1, then it would pass with only 2 votes?
I think so.
Theoretically, I couldn't find a
Only 5.
sample of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they have an amazing attendance record, so.
Just saying.
But if we had the 5th person, it wouldn't make a difference anyway tonight.
But the quorum is set at 4, so.
I understand. I'm in agreement with you. I'm just getting the pushback from the city through it's the clerk's office is where you're communicating with. So I'm in agreement with you, but I'm going to basically, after we take the vote, I'm just going to leave it hanging there if it ends up being a 3-1, then you can come back and say, okay, 3-1 is this in the minutes now. It passes or doesn't pass. But it only because we have a perfect storm today.
But
For
in the
people.
event, for the hearing, right? Like there's people involved in that decision. What is their reaction if we're like, okay, if it is a 3-1 and then like, well, we're not sure?
Okay, so I think that's the safe answer to say we take the vote, whatever we vote on is correct, and that's not going to change. If they say that it needs to be 4, then if it's a 3-1 vote, then then it doesn't pass, and would they have to either come back or do something similar? If they do say 3-1 is fine, then we can sign all the papers and they can get their permits and things like that. And I assume that you're okay with that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just that it hasn't happened like this that I could find in a long time. So I pulled these samples just to show the inconsistencies.
But quorum meetings with votes in commissions specifically have occurred, and those votes have stood.
Well, okay, here's the other twist to it. They changed the ordinance for commissions. So they may have changed the wording into how you tabulate the votes, out of votes out of the commission or votes out of the people present. I don't know what they ultimately
I do
did.
think we have a plan to move forward, and as Chairperson Morocco stated, we should be able to proceed as normal, take the vote. I see those concerns, and I would just want to get input from city clerk and city attorney's office and make sure that we're, the validation of whatever the vote is tonight, we can move forward. But I think we have a path forward, and I think it's amenable. And again, I apologize for the confusion. I don't know what else to say. We'll hope to have some clarification soon, and then we can move forward.
So then I'd like to make a motion to table voting on the minutes until we have further clarification.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Does anybody in the public want to speak about this earth-shattering topic? Okay, I don't see anybody moving forward. Anybody online for this?
There's nobody online.
Okay, so the motion is to table the minutes until the next meeting. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well, actually, we should do it as a roll call just so it's recorded properly in there.
Commissioner Lang,
Yes.
Commissioner Galassi,
Yes?
Commissioner McCauley,
No.
Chair Morocco.
I'll go yes on this one. I'd rather get the clarification. I don't know if it passes or not, but we'll find out. Okay, so now we move on to the public participation and non-agenda item. This is a section that's intended to provide members of the public with an opportunity to comment on any subject that does not appear on this agenda for action. This section is limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be afforded 3 minutes to address the commission. Each speaker will be permitted to speak only once. Written requests, if any, will be considered first under this section. Anybody give you a written request?
Yes. Would you like to speak?
Do you have a card or? Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, you have 3 minutes?
Yes. Good evening, Chair Morocco, Commissioner McCauley, Commissioner Galassi, and Commissioner Lang. My name is Maria Larissa Yasal. I'm a real estate professional. My interest is in community development. As a coastal city with historic districts and limited land, Redondo Beach faces pressures very different from inland communities. Decisions made here have lasting impacts on public amenities, historic resources, and neighborhood character. In coastal and historic areas, home ownership matters. Owners tend to be long-term stewards, investing in maintenance, preservation, and public realm. They support historic integrity, walkability, and the amenities that define our coastline. Rental housing has an important place, but when growth is dominated by high-density investor-owned rentals, we often see increased turnover and greater strain on parks, parking, and shared public spaces, without the same level of long-term community investment. As this commission reviews projects affecting historic properties and public amenities, I urge you to advocate for balance, ownership opportunities, compatible scale, and preservation-minded development that respects coastal context. Just as important, planning should not only protect the past, but intentionally shape the future. Redondo Beach should be creating projects that are worthy of becoming future landmarks. Buildings and places designed to last, to age well, and to contribute meaningfully to the public and for generations, not just meet short-term market demands. Coastal cities are not interchangeable. Once character is lost, it cannot be rebuilt. But when planned thoughtfully, it can be carried forward. Thank you for your time and your service.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else want to speak? Any of our students want to come up here and give your thoughts? This is your future as well, so, okay. I'll go to the online and,
There's nobody online.
okay. Okay, well, this is a great opportunity to come up if you want to. If you don't know, that's fine too. Okay, so now we finished with public participation on non-agenda items. We move to ex-parte communications regarding the project that we have, public hearing we have. And so Commissioner Lang, do you have any ex-parte communication?
No,
Commissioner Galassi?
not anything other than posting the agenda.
Okay. Commissioner McCauley?
No.
Okay, and I have no ex parte communication on this matter. So now we move to the public hearing on the property at 517 South Catalina Avenue. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion to open the public hearing?
Okay, thank you. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It's unanimous. Can I get a show of hands of who's going to be providing testimony today? Okay, so we have one person? Okay, so in the public hearing, we do put you under oath. So if you can at least stand so that you can take the oath. That's you.
Go ahead.
What?
I don't have the oath, do you? I have the oath.
Okay, I will do my best on it. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So why don't we start off, this is a procedural thing. We'll come back to you. We start with the staff giving a report about the project, and then we'll give you an opportunity to come forward and give your testimony. So, Steve, you want to proceed?
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Steven. I'm the senior planner in our community development department. I'm presenting tonight's item at 517 South Catalina Avenue. The project property was designated a local landmark in March 2, 2016. The landmarking at that time included a certificate of appropriateness for the rehabilitation of the existing residents and also allowed for the construction of the detached second dwelling at the rear of the property. Due to personal circumstances, the applicant was never able to complete the rehab, thus preventing vesting of the project with building permits. Today, the same applicant from 2016 is here before you tonight, requesting the exact same scope that went to the Historic Preservation Commission in 2016 for a new certificate of appropriateness for them to essentially continue the work to basically complete the landmarking that was approved in 2016. The original home was constructed in 1907. City records show that a stairway was added in 1947, and in 1953, the original garage was demolished and replaced with the two-car garage, and an addition was also built at the rear of the property with 110 square feet. Additional alterations to the original residence also include stucco covering the original wood siding, various windows and doors being replaced over the years. The front porch also had its historical significance diminished by essentially being turned into, they enclosed it, so as you can see in this photo here. And then a deck was also added in 1953 at the rear of the property. The proposed construction consists of a 387 square foot addition to the rear of the home that is 2 stories tall. The existing 2-car garage, which is non-original, will be demolished and replaced by a 4-car garage and a new dwelling unit above. The other primary goal for this project is to bring the residence back to its original form as much as possible by removing the stucco, and the original wood siding is still underneath that stucco. The applicant is planning on keeping as much of that original siding as possible, modifying the front porch to be closer to the original form. So on this elevation here, you'll see that on the left side, they're going to open it up and keep the original pillars, but keep the addition that was done on the right side. And then also restore the windows and doors and trimmings back to historically accurate. The rear addition that was done in 1953 is also being replaced by the new addition, and all of the original notched eaves are to remain, and original columns are to be carefully sanded and repainted. Here's a table of what the applicant is proposing in terms of new construction on the left side. So you'll see that they'll have the demolishing the garage for the new dwelling unit, the 2-story residence, that's the addition on the back of the residence, and then on the right side is more the changes that are being proposed to bring the structure back to its historical craftsman architecture. Here is a site plan, proposed site plan of the property. The left building is the new dwelling unit over the 4-car garage. The right dwelling is the original residence. I highlighted in yellow the proposed addition to the back of the residence. Here are the elevations of the front residence. So here again in yellow is the proposed addition. Please note that it's essentially going to be distinct from the original structure by the different roof ridge lines. Here are photos of the residence as it sits today, and the different windows and proposed items that are being replaced. Here are the elevations for the rear detached unit. It consists of a 1,018 square foot 4-car garage, and the dwelling unit above will be 1,192 square feet. Access to the garage is going to be from the back alleyway of the property now, so no changes to the front, no driveways being added, which actually helps the overall project as it keeps the rear unit masked from the front when you're viewing from the front street off of Catalina Avenue. Here are the criteria for an approval certificate of appropriateness. Criteria 1 refers to the Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation and the guidelines for rehabilitation of characteristic elements of historic buildings. Both of which are within the Design Guidelines Certificate of Appropriateness Program for Landmarks and Historic Districts that was adopted by the Preservation Commission in 1991. I'll go over the 10 Secretary of Interior standards on the next slides. But in terms of design guidelines, the project maintains the original massing, the roof forms, the gables, the dormer. The roof work is limited to in-kind material replacement and restores original exterior wood siding beneath the existing stucco in lieu of introducing new incompatible materials. Existing windows are proposed for replacement due to deterioration and prior non-original alterations. The front-facing windows are designed to accurately replicate the building's historic original size and proportion and configuration, thus preserving the building's original character on Catalina Avenue. Doors, trims, porches, and decorative elements are also being repaired and replicated consistent with the Secretary of Interior standards. And the new additions and the rear structures are sensitively located and designed to be compatible and reversible if it needs to be. Overall, the project preserves historic significant materials and spatial relationships while allowing for thoughtful rehabilitation and sustains the property's historic integrity and the continued use of its residential nature. So here are 5. I won't go over all of them. The 10 Secretary of Interior standards are in the staff report and the resolution. I'll go over some of the ones I think are important to the project that are bolded here. So number 2, the historic character of a property shall be retained and preserved. The removal of historic materials or alteration of features and spaces that characterize a property shall be avoided. The project proposes removal of non-historic alterations, including stucco cladding that currently covers the original wood siding, non-original windows and doors, and the later rear addition that lacks historic significance. The proposed work focuses on restoring historic materials and features that define the craftsman character of the residence, including the original siding, eaves, and architectural detailing. No character-defining historic features are proposed for removal, and the overall historic character of the property will be retained and enhanced with this project. Number 5, distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship that characterize a historic property shall be preserved. As identified when the subject property was approved as a landmark in 2016, the distinctive craftsman features, including wide overhanging eaves, exposed rafter tails, original columns, and wood detailing, are proposed to be preserved and restored. The project includes careful treatment of original architectural elements with sanding, repainting, and repair rather than removal. These features are integral to the character of the property and thus continues to convey its historic significance. Number 6, the deteriorated historic features shall be repaired and rather than replaced, where the severity of the deterioration requires replacement of a distinctive feature. The new feature shall match the old in design, color, texture, and other visual qualities, and where possible, materials. Replacement of missing features shall be substantiated by documentary, physical, or pictorial evidence. The project prioritizes repair and restoration of existing historic features wherever feasible. Where replacement is necessary due to deterioration or prior removal, new elements will match the original in design, materials, and appearance consistent with craftsman era detailing. Restoration work, including replacement of non-original windows and doors, is informed by physical evidence and historic documentation to ensure accuracy and compatibility with original construction. And number 9, new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction will not destroy historic materials, features, and spatial relationships that characterize the property. The new work will be differentiated from the old and will be compatible with the historic materials, features, size, and scale, proportion, and massing to protect the integrity of the property and the environment. The proposed rear additions at the primary residence and the new detached garage and second dwelling unit are located at the rear of the site, minimizing visibility from the public right-of-way and preserving the spatial relationships of the historic structure. The new construction is compatible in size, scale, massing, materials, and architectural character. No historic materials or defining spatial relationships are destroyed as a result of this project. The project is categorically exempt from CEQA, section 153331, which states that in part, projects involving the maintenance, rehab, restoration, preservation, or reconstruction of historical resources are categorically exempt. Thus, staff's recommendation is the approving a CEQA exemption declaration and certificate of appropriateness for the renovation, restoration, and addition to an existing historic single-family residence at the front of the property and the construction of a new detached two-story dwelling with new garages below at the rear of the property on a landmarked property listed in Historic Resources Register pursuant to Chapter 4, Title 10 of the Redondo Beach Municipal Code at 517 South Catalina Avenue. This concludes staff presentation. The property owner and the architect are also available for any questions, and so is staff.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for staff at this point?
I do have a question. The stairway that's being removed, where is that in relation to?
I'll have the property owner and architect answer that one.
Who's the property owner and one of you is the architect?
The architect.
Okay.
And he is the owner.
Okay.
And my wife,
Okay.
she and I.
Okay.
I guess we'll get the testimony as well after, but I just had specific for our staff people, if that's for them, then.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, so my understanding of the project is the stairs were already removed for this project on the exterior staircase.
Oh, okay. Okay, and the report indicates saving the glass, but the windows are being changed. So is that a question that we would ask the architect?
Yeah, that's gonna be a better question for them.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
None for the staff.
Okay, I do have a couple questions for the staff. Specifically, so what's the difference between what we're seeing today and what was approved back then? Can you highlight like some of them?
There is no difference between what was approved or what was approved in 2016 and what you see before you today. So everything is exactly as it was presented to the commission back in 2016. No changes to the original proposal or scope.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so why don't we hear your presentation? And you want to introduce yourselves again so that.
My name is Goitam Teklasion. Good evening, commissioners. Thank you. And my name is Goitam Teklasion, architect, and he's the owner.
Neil Moody, Doreen Sato. We're the married couple who had this property for years, been living there since 2003.
Okay. Do you have a specific presentation you wanted to make, or do you want us to ask you questions?
You can ask this question.
Okay, Commissioner Galassi, why don't you start off since you had some?
So the stairway that was removed, where, was that already done or is that to be removed? The report referenced a stairway to be removed.
To be removed.
To be removed. Is that on the exterior of the house, the
The
interior?
exterior, yes.
Okay. Is that part of an original part of the house or?
It was not part of the house. It was kind of leg.
Add-on.
But we just took it out.
So it's been removed already?
Yes.
No, which one?
The outside one.
The one on the side, on
Yeah,
the south side?
on the side, yeah.
Yeah, it's not been removed, it's still there.
Because it's encroaching also on the setback, so we took it out.
Yes,
I mean, for planning, zoning, you have to have a setback and that stairway within the setback.
Okay.
So we took it
Yeah,
out.
it's just, I'm hearing two different things. I'm hearing
Right.
that it's been
It's
removed
still there
and,
on
or
that
it's not,
side.
it hasn't been
one?
removed.
the
So
one
that's
on
what
the
I'm,
south side.
For the south side.
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
south side, yeah.
okay. So the other question I had was on the glass, because the report says that you'll be preserving the glass, but you're replacing the windows. So I'm trying to understand how that's going to work.
You mean the glass on the windows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
one, I mean, the old one, it's
Yeah.
single pane, you know, the single and double.
Mhm.
So they want to do double. So it doesn't change the form, but we make it like compatible with the insulation and the energy.
So the glass is changing, so none of the
Yeah, it's
glass
gonna
is being retained.
Yeah, it's going to change, and it's old. Some of the frame are not that good, so we're going to replace the wood.
Okay, I just want to follow up on that. Just so you know, in the resolution itself, it says on item 21, all the glass on 517 Catalina facing the street shall be retained or replaced with salvaged historic pattern glass. So
Something
I'm
like
not
that.
sure if that's consistent with what
Yeah,
is in our resolution. Is that the point?
Thank you.
So are you retaining any of it? Are you going to salvage any of it?
We're going to salvage every single piece that we can to any degree that we can, but we also want to make sure that we're at least compliant, energy compliant, et cetera. But the bottom line is every single piece that can be saved, can be kept, we will keep.
Okay.
So can you talk a little bit about the removal of the stucco and how that will happen?
That one is, originally was siding, but the previous owner, they just put the stucco all over. So we carefully take that one out and see what's behind that.
We have to.
Then if anything to replace or to, repair, we're gonna do that. But we have to open it and see what's in there.
Okay, because I think in item number 7, in the standards for rehabilitation, it says that you can't undertake processes in which would potentially cause damage to the original materials, which would be underneath.
Yeah,
So
but
that's why
still,
I'm asking about the
yeah.
sandblasting, perhaps. So,
even the water could go in because of the stucco is
Yeah.
like, it's not even, we see it, it's cracked, so.
Living there for 20 years, we noticed that there are so many things they did to patch, to repair, change, and until we get in there and actually see what might be underneath it, we don't know.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to keep in consistency and do what the commission has set aside, do what's been told, but there's certain parts we just don't know.
yeah, it's a difficult process.
Yeah.
We had a similar house come before what used to be the Preservation Commission that had the same exact situation where they had stucco over original siding,
Yeah.
wood siding. And it's a very difficult process to remove the stucco, but it's appreciated that you're attempting to restore what's underneath.
Yeah, that's hard.
And item number 4 talks about, and the standards for rehabilitation talks about properties changing over time. And sometimes, when these properties change, they acquire additional items of historical significance, even though the house was built at a particular time period, adding on something like an addition to the back of the house in the 1950s, for example, could potentially be of historical significance. I don't feel that the addition that you have back there is, in particular, to me, did not show anything of particular historical significance, but, since we're talking about these things, I want people to realize that just because a house was built at a certain time period, anything that could be done afterward could potentially contribute to the overall historical aspect of the home. And I think those are my questions.
Commissioner Colley?
I'm good.
What? Okay. Commissioner Lang?
Yes, I have a few questions. So this is around the windows. So I don't know how accurate your window selection is represented in your elevation, but I was wondering if you could speak to your approach to window selection, because some of them indicate that they're double hung. So the double hung and the single hung, they appear the same aesthetically, but one of them is, they function differently. So a double hung, the top pane can come down and the bottom pane can come up. And a single hung, the top pane is stationary and the bottom one can come up. So I see that you've indicated a difference. So there's some single pane ones. I'm looking at the front north elevation. There's some single pane ones, and then you have some double pane or double hung ones, sorry. And then you have casement windows, and then you have other single hung, and then I see you have awning windows as well. And then I see that you've also, you're indicating that you want to replace those windows with the diamond shapes on them. And so your plan is to take those ones out completely and put in awning casement windows. Is that correct? Or can you speak to the window selection a little bit more? And if there's any that you plan on keeping, or if you're trying to just get rid of all of them?
Mostly we keep them, but anything is not compatible with the code. For example, if you have a double hang and egress, you can't get out, then by the code, you have to have a casement. So because you're not making bigger or smaller. So we use the same opening, but we have to fit it.
Okay, so.
Especially on the bedrooms, but the other ones will be similar.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bottom floor ones on the north side. They're not numbered, so I can't, the only ones that are numbered are in the photos. So it does look like, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what this side is. Yeah, I don't think all the windows are pictured here.
And,
I have the elevation on the board, if you want to, so the bottom picture is going to be the north elevation, and the top picture is the southern elevation.
I was looking for the original, but the originals that were pictured, but I don't believe that you have a photo of the north side windows. Yeah.
No, I don't think, yeah, we don't have a picture of that specific north side elevation past the staircase, the deck. We only have the ones before it, so we're missing, what we don't have is the photo, these windows here, but the photo should show these windows.
So what you're saying is that all your casement windows are satisfying an egress requirement?
yes, if
And
it's
then-
a bedroom, yes. We have a 5.4 square foot, person to get out. So it has to be a casement, otherwise, if it's double hung, you can't.
There's casement windows on the bottom floor that I believe are in your living room. Hold on, let me just scroll up to your floor plan. Kitchen is existing. Yeah, I think it's in the living room where you have a casement window side by side.
So this one right here.
First floor. Yeah, it's in the dining room, actually. So it says casement double with trim. So that's being changed, not for an egress requirement, just because you're adding a
I
window.
think that's the way it is. Though if we have it like that, it's the same except the bedrooms.
Say that again?
The rest is the same as what you see, but only the bedrooms, we just changed it for casement.
So everything's the same except for
same, yeah, the
except
same.
for this one.
Yeah. Except the bedrooms, the rest is the same. So the opening is the same and we're not changing anything. So if anything damaged, he can replace it, but
So what you're saying is the casement windows are the same size as the existing window?
exactly, it's the same size, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can't tell what's there right now, but yeah.
If it's double hung, it's gonna be half of it, the exit. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's a casement, you open the whole thing. I mean,
I understand. Yeah, I know what a casement is. Okay. All right. I mean, I think the point of asking these questions, just so for context, is in some of the past houses that have come through, the windows are really indicate that something has been changed, or you kind of notice the windows first, so the double hung or the single hung really stay with kind of like the historical feel,
Yes.
especially if you can preserve them, but I know that it is a concern, insulation. However, I think longevity, a lot of these historical windows have like stood the test of time, even though they needed some maintenance. But anyway, it would be nice if some of the windows with the diamonds could be saved. But I think we really, appreciate you wanting to rehab this older home, and it's such a valuable historical resource. So we appreciate the effort.
One of the things in line with what you were just saying is that when we were here in 2016, one of the things that they mentioned was, when people walk down the street, they want to be able to see a house. It's kind of, okay, if it's an historical property, it should look from the street pretty much like it did when it was first built. That's one of the driving factors behind us coming back. We couldn't do this because our parents got sick, then they passed, then COVID hit, et cetera, but we're still driven. That's why we're back, to do it so that people can walk down that street with those old lampposts and that probably 2,000-year-old tree that's still in the front and go, wow, this looks like it did when it was first built. We're here to do that. So I totally understand what you're saying. We will do the best we can because that's the right thing to do.
And also on that one, if you see on that building, on the south side, you will see 3 craftsman style houses, and they're all siding except this one. So someone just changed, it doesn't look right. So we're gonna try to mimic the same as the one on the left side, and it's gonna be similar to that one, the way we have it.
That'd be great. Thank you. Thank you. No question.
Well, I'll pick up where you just left off. So I've been looking at your neighborhood as having 4 of the most amazing historic homes. And this one I've looked at and it's like, it would be great if it could be a historic district. Your actions are consistent with making it that. Would that be something you're interested in participating in?
Of course.
Okay, because we had your neighbor come in here and she said the same thing. So great. I'm also more interested in the history, and when I walk by and when I actually read some of the stuff that's been about it, it looks like yours is probably one that actually has a potential of being a national historic landmark beyond the city. Is that something you, when they're all done, willing to explore? Because that's a process in and of itself.
Well, I'd have to check with my boss, but I think so.
And you've been there for 20 years. You've done a great job keeping it up. My interest is the foundation. So most of the homes from 1905 and the 1910s were not like they are now with the concrete stuff. So if you can address what kind of foundations under the front house that's facing Catalina and what kind of foundation you're going to put underneath the back house.
The front house right now still has an old root cellar in the very, very back portion where they would store their vegetables, et cetera. That's where the water heater is right now. The other, farther to the front is just an old crawl space that you would see as they built way back then. All right. The back garage area right now is all concrete.
Okay. And this, don't take this question wrong, but we are dealing with historic homes. So can you tell us, Mr. Architect, your experience with working with historic homes?
I mean, for the historic buildings?
Yeah, historic buildings and restoration.
Yeah, I have done a couple of projects, even with the city of Redondo, because you have so many of them in a couple of spaces I have done. So this one is a little bit, bigger, but the other one, like a bungalow, they're smaller. All of them craftsman, and we have done those, but we have to go through your department, and also we have historic special who report that. They give us the report and exactly what we have to do on it. So we don't change anything. We have to give everything like 100% what we can. So we want to just keep the integrity of the historic then this will be one of a place to visit by the student. Actually, mostly it's open for students. Tomorrow is going to be like that for young students.
Okay.
So we have done a couple of them, and this is the other one.
Okay. And the electrical hookups in the back from the alley?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, the
Electrical
electric,
hookups in the
yeah,
back?
it's going to be on the back side because we have two buildings.
Okay. I have another question. Do you have, you look like you're ready to ask more.
Yeah. If that's a G, wait, do you have an, okay. I just really want to go back to the window that's got the letter D on it, on the photograph. I'm still sort of stuck on this particular one.
Oh,
It appears to have original glass, and from what this photo looks like, it could have some sort of glazing on top. And out of all of the windows, you know, these particular windows with this diamond pattern to me are the ones that I'm most concerned about retaining. Because they have they are a strong character defining feature of the home. And, you know, if I go back once again to the resolution, item 21, it says that all glass facing the street shall be retained. Is this glass, is this on the back side? Where is this exactly? I couldn't figure out.
On the
where this
north
is.
side, it looks like.
It is on the side.
it's on the side.
And does the front of the house also have? Yes, it does. The front of the house also shows that diamond patterned window, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, I guess, is, because that front part they said that was enclosed at a later date. So did they copy the windows and add them there, or were they there before?
Yeah, that's what it is, actually replaced by the previous owner. They closed it off.
And they copied the side window?
Yeah.
They could have copied it, or it could be original and replaced, you know, placed in place. So when was this enclosure? When did that happen?
Before you.
Way before us.
Before they buy it.
50s, maybe 70s.
Yeah.
We're not really sure because they never really pulled permits or anything
Yeah,
that they did.
sometimes that
Even the
happens.
stucco is the same thing, the
Yeah.
stucco and other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
They didn't come to the city, they just did
They
it.
just did it.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be allowed to do that.
yeah. And remember how I mentioned that item number 4 on the standards for rehabilitation talks about, you know, the properties changing over time, and that in and of itself, the property can acquire historical significance because of that. So the fact that they either reutilize the original windows in the front, that diamond pane, or they copied the side one. I can't tell from these photographs what the situation is, but to me, is part of the character defining feature of the home. And I would, my recommendation would be to keep those.
Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
I have one question about the garage. Will it be divided, the 4 cars, or is it one garage for 4 cars? Is it really just 2 garages? So it's one garage, so,
Yeah, the garage is from the back, from the alley. Then you come to the side and you go to, so it has a partition. So
it's,
2 on this side to
Right.
the other side. Yeah.
okay, so it's like 2 garages.
2 garages, yeah.
Connected.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's right, because you're coming in from one.
And the living
So you can
spaces.
drive, and you can drive in off of Catalina?
Yes.
To the
Not
to the front
Catalina,
of
off
the-
Sunset
No.
Court.
The alley,
or the alley,
Sunset
the
Court is
Yeah.
the alley.
Oh, okay, so the driveway is
from the alley.
from the
just
alley
come
in the
down,
back. That's right, on Catalina, it's just this
Yeah.
street. Okay.
I can help clarify the windows. The diamond windows, they are original, and they're kind of obscure, set in wood.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are broken. Over the 118 years, they've been cracked, and the wood is deteriorating. It would be kind of hard to restore it, really. But I love the character of those windows, and we would like to maintain that, but I'm not sure about keeping those windows because of the age.
But we're going to do
I
our
would
best.
suggest if they find similar to that one, we can look for it and replace it.
Well, I do know that,
That's the first idea.
Yeah.
But if it's broken, I mean, energy-wise, you can't even keep because you lose the energy of
I
the
agree.
house. Yeah.
however, there are opportunities to get salvage glass.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's definitely.
in, whatever possible way to save those particular windows because they do add character to the home.
Oh, yeah.
They are part of, when you're walking by, that's the first thing you notice because they don't
Definitely.
come like that
They don't come
anymore.
like that.
I lived in a house that had similar windows, so, built in the 20s, so. And regarding the proposed building in the back, so I have no problem with removing the garage and doing that second dwelling. From what I can see here on the plans, it's not going to be obstructive from the street side.
Yeah, it's on the back.
Yeah.
It's on the back.
From a planning perspective, you have plenty of room to do it.
Yes.
And there is a precedent because there was a house, it occurred to me this evening, that was built, the front house was a historic property, and then they did the same exact thing where they built another home in the back of it. So there are actually two distinct dwellings.
But actually, we mimic the.
Yes, I saw
front
that,
one
so.
With all the craftsman style, we did it.
Right.
So when you look at them, they're very similar.
Exactly, so that is very much appreciated because this other property that I'm thinking of, the dwellings were very, very distinctly different, the historic dwelling and then the brand-new dwelling. So, it's appreciated that you're, trying to retain that same character for the neighborhood.
In that area, people have a tendency to walk because it's a nice, large street, I should say Sunset Court. So if they're going to walk in the front, a lot of times they'll walk in the back. And it looks really disjointed when you've got a completely separate identity to a structure in the back that's on the same property as the beautiful restored one in the front. So we took that into consideration when we were looking at this and wanted to make sure they were consistent.
And 50 years from now, that'll be considered historic. Can I just, I won't be here though.
This commission. Gotcha.
And I just want to, so I'm looking at the house right next to yours. And because I wanted to see what their window situation was. And it looks like, I don't know if they've done any work to theirs, but it looks like those panels could have been pulled forward from the original, when they enclosed the porch, it looks like they could have pulled those windows forward from their original spot. So I don't know if you've looked to see what the home next door looks like for a reference, but they do have that diamond.
On top.
Yeah, for that recessed
if it's
window.
in a good shape, I mean, you can keep it, but in their case.
Yeah, you can rehabilitate those windows
too.
too.
Find something to put it there, but.
You can restore those, it's possible.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you had looked at that, the neighbors, but anyway. Okay.
Yeah, they're very similar,
And both of those surrounding the home are historic homes as well, if I recall correctly.
And they have those diamond windows. There's two of them.
Okay. Anybody else anybody in the audience wish to address this public hearing? Okay. Anybody online or? There's nobody online. Okay, thank you. Then come forward.
Approach the.
You need to come forward, otherwise we can't hear you.
Yeah, come on.
So you close the. hearing?
No, it's part of the process still.
Sorry, if you could
We're
state
not
your name, please.
deliberating yet.
I was
Any
going to say,
interested
as
parties?
a resident in Redondo Beach and also a homeowner, I really appreciate what you're doing to this building. I mean, I own one of the newer homes, and I really like that you're bringing character, back to the city. It's wonderful.
If you could just state your name, please.
Christine Smith,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. I think we're ready to have a motion to close the public hearing if nobody else is here to speak. So can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved?
Is there a second? Okay, so at this point, all those in favor say aye, closing the public hearing. We're not done with the item.
Aye.
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 Okay, so the public hearing is closed and now we'll deliberate. You can have a seat if you want to listen. This may be a good time for those students because it looked like they're already participating, getting the signature. You're welcome to stay the whole meeting. It's not going to go much longer, I think. But are you okay doing this part?
Yes.
Okay, so Commissioner Lang, do you have any thoughts and comments you want to add to the discussion?
No, I think I've said, I'd made comments on the elements of this remodel that I thought were most important to keeping the historical integrity. And I think those, like Commissioner Galassi said, the diamond windows, if we could preserve them, would be wonderful. And I think it would really speak to the historical context on that street, since there's other diamond windows, so it really tied that in. But that's my only comment.
Okay, Commissioner Galassi?
I'm going to echo what Commissioner Lang said also, because it is part of the resolution. It's stated in the resolution, item number 21. And so we have to ensure that all reasonable efforts into retaining that glass shall be undertaken. And I think that's it for me.
Commissioner McCauley?
I really enjoyed listening to the homeowners and the architect and talking about their passion, they're into it. I feel that, the right people are trying to do the right thing. And I think that's a big part of the equation. Okay. And I think it's a great house, and I think it'll look really good afterwards.
Okay, thank you. And my comments echo my fellow commissioners. I really do hope that you do explore getting that whole area in a historic district. There's other potential homes on your block that would be really good, but you've got a cluster of great homes. So I am now going to suggest we wait until the last of the signatures are done so that we can at least have at least one staff person up front when we go to the next part. Okay, so this is your role to stating the resolution, if you want to.
So I make a motion that we adopt the resolution of the Public Amenities Commission of the City of Redondo Beach, California, approving the renovation, restoration, and addition to an existing historic single-family residence at the front of the property, construction of a new detached two-story dwelling with new garage below in the rear of the property, and additional site modifications such as landscaping, fencing, and driveways on a landmarked property listed in the Historic Resources Register, pursuant to the Chapter 4, Title 10 of the Redondo Beach Municipal Code.
Thank you. Is there a second? Commissioner McCauley seconds. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Lang,
Yes.
Commissioner Galassi,
Yes.
Commissioner McCauley,
Yes.
Chair Morocco.
Yes. So it's unanimous. We meet the fourth threshold, so we don't have to worry about that. Congratulations. Good luck. I don't know what the timing process is going to be from here on in before you get your permits, but I'm sure that the city community development department will be working with you. So thank you.
You should know that We're actually, we have a subcommittee that's planning a nice little event for landmark designated properties. And so we will reach out to you because we would love for you to participate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck.
Are you, Steve, are you staying for the rest of the meeting? Or are you? Okay, great. What?
I just wanted to point out on the resolution, all the way at the bottom, has, for the record, is ayes, nays, absent. And I'm wondering with the scoring, if that's kind of what they're reflecting, just back to that issue.
I don't know. All the ones I've seen, it's the same setup. So I assume it's, you figure we look at planning as well and you see something like that. But in the minutes, it's a different situation.
I think the minutes are less formal, right? It's just, it's a typo, we can edit it and have that changed.
Okay. Well, let's move on to item K. I don't think we have anything continued from a previous agenda.
No.
Okay. Item L, items for discussion prior to action. We have subcommittee review and project update. Okay, and that's on page 68 of the materials. Start with the minor alteration subcommittee. Any update?
None.
Okay, facilities user subcommittee.
Yes, we are organizing a facility users public meeting for February 19th, I believe, Thursday. We're trying to get the location of Veterans Park Senior Center, which we've used in the past. And we're reaching out, once we confirm the date, we'll be reaching out to the stakeholders. And after we have the meeting, we will report back.
Thank you. Volunteer Acknowledgement Committee, looks like all of the people are absent from that one. So I assume that, did you get a report?
No.
Okay. Bringing history to the community subcommittee. So Commissioner Lang edited the materials for the Ito Family's open space sign. I see Jack's there. So he's been charged with finalizing everything so that they can be all ordered and everything like that. We'll probably have a couple path of history stuff to go forward. And if you had an announcement about the two that you're reintroducing, when those would be out, that would be appreciated, even if it's late. Yeah.
The two replacement pieces of Path of History markers were the Hotel Redondo and the King Harbor Marinas. Both of those arrived from KBO Industries. They have been put up and they are installed by Public Works. The one for King Harbor's Marinas looks like it has a small defect in it. It's not affecting it at the moment, but KBO is replacing it anyway. They're going to send us a new one. So it's up, it's fine, it's readable. But there's a small corner of text that we found insufficient, and they are going to take care of it.
Okay, do you want a rededication of the hotel sign?
It wasn't discussed. We can certainly do that if you'd like.
Okay, I'll reach out to you and see if we can kind of have like a little thing so we can get it in the newspaper that it's
absolutely
back up there. Okay.
Little photo never hurt anybody.
That's true.
Did you have any other questions?
No.
Oh, the Ito family stuff is in the hands of the graphic artist at the moment. Elizabeth House, the director, is reviewing your final edit, and I think that we'll find it.
Okay.
If you stick around, I do have a referral to staff question for you. So when we get, okay, thank you. Franklin Park Playground Subcommittee.
We have no updates.
Okay. Alta Vista Pickleball Subcommittee.
I do have an update. The update is that I met with Director Orta and Michelle Pineda, and we discussed a number of things, including hours of pickleball play, drop-in versus open play, which is very different. Drop-in will require a fee. Open play is no fee, but we're going with the model of the drop-in model. Pickleball will follow tennis in the sense of anybody wanting to play at Alta Vista will require a membership at Alta Vista courts, and I think it's $25 currently. And we will be meeting again to continue the discussions as far as many other things such as signage and so forth. And I don't have any information as far as when the actual date of installation is happening right now. You know, there's some weather considerations, and so I don't have any updates in that respect.
Okay, thank you. The Preservation Outreach Subcommittee?
Yeah, so for that, we met in December. We talked about a number of things. In particular, we are planning an outreach event for landmark designated properties. And so we're going to be getting together and with Director Orta, I'm getting together with Director Orta and Director Weiner, I think it's tomorrow, and Friday. And we will begin discussing how that event is going to look. We have been talking about the outreach to community, the broader community, as well as those that are on the resources list, to provide them information and education on the preservation program. Right now, we are waiting on some direction from council. They had taken a vote last week to change that ordinance. And so we're waiting to see what happens on the 20th regarding that. And I think that's it for now.
Okay, great. The recognition preservation. So this is the blue folder item, and I've talked about the possible bricks. So this is kind of a design that's open for discussion from anybody on this commission and from staff if they'd like, but it'd basically be a 2x3 brick that has the name of the number of the landmark, the name of the house, if it's got a name on it, and when it was built, be embedded in the contract. The second page of the blue folder item is what the city estimated it would cost for each of these bricks. What we're proposing to do is have independent fundraising, so it wouldn't be a city cost. It may, if it's ultimately wildly successful, we may ask the homeowners if they want to contribute to it. But in general, we're trying to bring outside money so we can cover the cost. Labor seems to be the primary cost. You need two people, one to block the traffic, I guess, and one to do the actual labor on there. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm looking at in other parts of the county, you'll find these brown historic signs that are also demarcating historical areas, so looking at that. And then there's a provision in the ordinance that says to essentially, if a property that's on the historic inventory is being demolished, we can ask the owners to provide some sort of either parts of the home or an album of the pictures of the home that distinguish out why it's really, really nice, or even the story. And I'll probably have to reach out to Jack since he runs the museum and see if we can somehow figure out a way to if somebody's demolishing a historic home, that we can actually do something productive so that the memory of the home is there, probably more in the historical line of it. And then I'm also looking at, we've had some historic homes that have been demolished that have historic figures, like Henry Huntington's homes. If we can have some sort of program where we recognize addresses of historical significance. So I'm looking at doing something like that, and that doesn't have to be as voluntary as the potential historic resources. It's just something important happened with somebody who lived here. The one that comes to mind is Cesar Hernandez, who was one of the teachers at the high school, who created a whole bunch of artwork, who educated tons of students on appreciating art. His home is not there anymore, but the place where he lived, the address is still there. So that's something I'm looking at as well as bringing back to you. Okay. And then budget committee, I guess,
He's not here.
do we know when the city manager is going to come to us? Have you guys started discussions?
I do not have that yet.
Okay. So given that Commissioner Lang is not in the room at this point in time, I should probably stop talking because I don't think we have a quorum.
We're still on L1?
What?
We're still on L1?
Yeah, we're just winding up, but I can't do anything until she comes back.
So the February meeting date has been confirmed.
We'll get to that when we can do business again. Unfortunately, I think that's the protocol we need to follow if we don't have a quorum. We have to wait. Why don't we take a 5-minute recess?
Unless she comes back before then.
No.
We can just wait. Fine.
Fine, too.
Item L1, and we were on the part about the budget committee.
Oh,
If you
yes.
had anything to add.
I did not. I have not communicated with Commissioner Yousafzai.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of spearheading that, but I should circle back.
Okay, can we get a motion to receive and file the committee reports?
Motion to receive and file?
Second?
Second.
Okay, any public comment?
No public comments.
Okay, all those in favor, well, I should do roll call again.
Commissioner Lang.
Here, or is that what you want to know? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, here, yes, present.
Commissioner Galassi.
Yes.
Commissioner McCauley.
Yes.
Chair Morocco.
Yes. Okay, let's move on to item M, items from staff. Anything for us?
I just wanted to update regarding the King Harbor sign. We had communicated a little bit about that. There is a discussion. I did talk to Public Works. The project is scheduled for spring, and the goal when talking to the folks in Public Works is to preserve that centerpiece and to store it securely until a more permanent location can be determined. But rest assured that that will be included in the bid for the contractor, and they'll do make every effort to bring that sign down, preserve it, and store it securely. So, but we can certainly agendize the topic later, but I just wanted to provide you with that update.
Okay.
Is it, can we get clarification on if it's just that centerpiece or if it's also the lettering, the King Harbor?
My understanding, it's just the centerpiece. The centerpiece alone is 7 feet in diameter, I believe.
So the other parts are pretty large.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of them.
What's
It's
that?
double-sided.
front and back.
Both sides, yeah.
Do you want one?
No, but I did want to tell you that the Historic Museum, Tony came by at last week's council meeting, and he did want to request a sign to go, a logo to go into the museum. So I guess you can talk to Jack, who can talk to Tony.
We are agendizing that.
Right.
Okay.
I had, remember our last meeting, I had requested to agendize that.
And I just wanted to get confirmation of that to provide you with an update. We can tentatively schedule for our next agenda, but we'd have to confer with Jack to check on his availability because I would like to have him here to be part of that conversation. So, but that's just an update. It is scheduled to be preserved and secure, and then a location can be, discussed or suggested, however you want to word it, and then. But that's a good step. Thank you.
There's 7 feet right there, too.
Oh, good idea.
Okay. So anything else?
No.
Do you have anything, Jack, that you want to share with us? Okay. So we're moving on to item N. We're almost at the end. I'm going to start with you, Commissioner McCauley, since I've been picking on my left side the whole evening. Do you have anything, Commissioner member, or future agenda topics?
Yes. Well, I don't know about future agenda topics, but questions for staff. Is that okay?
Sure.
The city has installed the new backstops at General Eaton Parquet, basketball backstops, and it has been greatly appreciated and loved by the community. However, there's backstops at Greg Parquet, and the community members are a little jealous. They're hoping that, are there also going to get backstops at that location at some point in the future? And if not, if we can put a request in to have them evaluated.
I'll certainly have to reach out to Kelly Orta and see what the plan is. I don't want to make any sort of assumptions, but I'll certainly relay that question to her.
Okay. And that is all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Galassi.
Yes, so there's been a lot of chatter in Facebook world regarding Dominguez Park. And so I in particular on the commission, I'm sure others would like to understand what the update is, where we are with that. It's my understanding that folks are still utilizing that park when they shouldn't be because it's been closed. So maybe we need to ask the question as well regarding enforcement. Does that, I would hate for us to put us in a bad position with the county because we're using it and we're not supposed to be. Not for any other reason. I don't want to make the folks mad, but I'm just going to ask that question. And it would be good to know where we are with Franklin Park. And I think that was it for me. And thank you very much for that library report, by the way. It was fabulous. I appreciated in particular seeing the extended hours, the data on the extended hours. So people are actually using that. I actually got somebody had actually communicated with me. They said, how do I get in? What do I do?
Great.
So people are using it.
Yes, thank you. And I think one of our librarians signed up 2 people today, so.
Awesome.
Does it?
Yeah.
Commissioner Lang?
I have no things at this moment.
Okay, I got a bunch of them, and Jack, you may be the person that I ask a lot of them to. So the first thing off, did you decide that you weren't going to do the tours for the rest of the commission or are going to do the tours?
We will do the tours, I promise. 2026 is the year. I was just working, coordinating with staff, and there were a few loose ends, so I think we've resolved those, and you should get an email soon just to inquire as far as your schedule preference and making sure we, if possible, combine tours, but be careful not to obviously create a quorum. But yes, so that's on the horizon.
It's well worth it. And then I want to thank you personally for allowing the display for the charter to be in the library lobby. I don't know if you got any feedback on it, but we got it more organized this year than we did last year.
Well, it looks wonderful, and the only thing I want to say is we did add a message on our spotlight on the website to encourage people to come down and take a look. Thank you.
Thank you. This is for the community development people. Are they planning on getting the certified local government report in this year? I think its deadline is in March. So I've sent them my bio and classes, and I don't know if they've reached out to anybody else, but maybe when you talk to Mark, you can ask him, what he's going to do with that. Birthday party, April. Are we doing anything in the city? Last year we had a subcommittee here that put a budget together and helped you guys out. Do you know anything about that?
Last year's was rained out, but yeah, we anticipate doing something this year.
Okay.
We don't have any specifics yet on it. It's not till April, but we also have to see what a budget can be set at. And also, last time we had the assistance of a subcommittee of the commission that was Jeff Rowe and Yusuf Zai. They assisted in organizing the entertainment part of it.
All right, we can't tell you what to do, but if you do, April's coming up pretty quickly. Next month is February. Mm-hmm. If you do plan on doing something and want our involvement, at least, yeah, tell us by next month.
Will do.
And if you can pick a date, and by that point,
it's almost always the Saturday closest to the
right
to the actual birth date.
Okay. You talked about the Path of History sign. We talked about the Ito sign. Somebody mentioned Dominguez Park. As far as that goes, we have, hopefully, we can get those timeline signs. We've agreed to do 8 of them. But if you have to do boreholes in the ground anyway to test, those are great locations to put the signs around so they can have 2 purposes as far as that goes. So just keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. The 250th anniversary of the United States. So I did go to the council and ask them to consider sending it to our commission to come up with some ideas. And we'd have a couple months to do that. I don't know if that's filtered down to you. I don't know if they referred it to staff. I don't know if that's something we as a commission want to volunteer and say that we're all on board for it, but that's out there too in July. And I know we do fireworks. I know we have new sign post things that we can actually do stuff with. So hopefully that'll happen. I think next month we're getting a historic district application before us.
I don't have that.
Okay. I did send an article to, I want to say it was Councilman Barrett and the community development person. The relocation of a historic home, there's a group up in Altadena that are using the structures to, because building supplies are very limited, to actually have them replanted up in Altadena, so that I'm hoping that's something that people read and filter, and if we do have some home that's up for demolition, we can suggest that as an option. And I haven't got any feedback on it, so I don't know where the city would be with that. The last thing, and you can pass this over, I would like to agendize a matter, and it's basically how to purge our potential historic resource inventory of multiple properties. I've set out a process. I don't know if you've made it over to. I've set out a process. It's hard to word things in a short resolution. So I basically would like to have agendized a discussion how we can use ordinance 10-4.3.111 to remove items, properties from the historic resource, potential historic resource inventory list. It would be able to whittle down the existing properties on the list. Plus, it would also be able to bring down the cost of any future surveys that we have. So I would like to agendize that. This is the structure that I'm proposing that we actually use as a discussion point. And I don't think we need staff input at that point, but because I think it's totally within, it doesn't take any staff time, I think, to do it. It's something that we can all do ourselves. So if I can get a second, I'll make the motion that we agendize it. If I can get a second.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
So are you going to present this, walk us through it at that time?
Yes,
and then we can discuss it?
Yes, I don't,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just a discussion.
I can't discuss it now, but this is the structure that I'm going to be proposing if it does make it onto the agenda. And we can't obviously have a discussion because it's not before the body at this point. So as I said, I would like to make a motion that we discuss ordinance 10.4.3.11 on removing property from the historical inventory list.
So if I own a house that I did not know was on the list and I find out it's on the list, this would be a way for me to get off the list?
There's a process in there, yes. That's why I try to set up in a way that you can just move through the system and do it. And since you have it now, you can actually give your own thoughts to it if we agendize it and come back. And I'll send a copy to the community development director as well as the mayor and council. What?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's 4-0. So it'll.
Did you want to make a motion to receive and file your document?
Well, it's technically not being considered by us today, so I'm not sure if that's the appropriate motion. If you think it is, I'll make a motion to receive and file it, but we haven't agendized it, we haven't talked about it. I'm just, rather than going through a whole litany of explaining what I want to do it, because if I just said, hey, we should purge it, doesn't mean anything. So it's not going to be presented in a vacuum. But this will be, if you do put it on the next month's agenda, it would be part of the packet that's put together. And if community development doesn't want to do a report, I can do a full report on it with the property addresses, with relation to what the council, everything goes through the council, just so you know. So all of this is a recommendation. And you should put the word recommendation in the minutes because it is it will be a recommendation to council. Okay. I think that takes care of my matters. That would leave us with adjournment. And before we do that, I think based on the votes that we had today, I don't think the 3-1-4-0 thing came into play. So be a little bit more, it takes away the urgency. It takes away the urgency of it. So let's talk about our next meeting. The next meeting of the Redondo Beach Public Amenities Commission will be a regular meeting held at 6:30 p.m. on February 11th in the Redondo Beach City Council chambers at 415 Diamond Street, Redondo Beach. It's the intention of the City of Redondo Beach to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act in all respects. If as an attendee or a participant at this meeting, you will need special assistance beyond what is normally provided, the city will attempt to accommodate you in every reasonable manner. Please contact the city clerk's office at 310-318-0656 at least 48 hours prior to the meeting to inform us of your particular needs and to determine if accommodation is feasible. Please advise us at that time if you will need accommodation to attend or participate in the meetings on a regular basis. Because the way the system is set up, if anybody doesn't want to have the meeting on February 11th, now's the time to bring it up. If I'm not hearing anybody, then we'll just go forward and ask for a motion to adjourn. Please.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Okay, Commissioner Lang nodded a second. All those
I
in,
thought you said second. That's
I was asking for a second with the inflection. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you all for adjourned. Thank you all for coming tonight. I think it was a good, productive meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.